Hey everyone, and welcome. Today, we're digging into a question that honestly can shape your entire career. What's the real difference between being a manager and being a leader? And more importantly, is there something that combines the best of both? Let's get into it. Right? Manager, leader, we hear these words all the time. They're practically interchangeable for some people. But are they? Is your boss one or the other? Or maybe a bit of both? It's a huge point of confusion for a lot of us, and today, we're going to clear it all up. I want you to think for a second about the best person you've ever worked with or for. Got someone in mind? Okay, what made them so good? Was it that they just kept everything running smoothly, totally organized? Or was it something else, something about how they made you feel about the work? We're going to go on a little journey today, from the absolute foundations of management all the way to the very summit, what it means to be an ultimate leader. All right, so let's start with the bedrock of any team or company that actually gets things done: management. Now, this isn't just about being the boss. It's really about creating a stable, predictable system so work can happen without chaos. You can almost think of it as the science of keeping the ship on an even keel. Okay, I know this sounds a little textbooky, but the words here are so important. Look at those keywords: process, controlling, formal, authority. This tells you everything you need to know. Management is a formal system. It's the essential structure that keeps the day-to-day humming along like a well-oiled machine. So, at its core, management is all about handling complexity. Its number one job is to create order and consistency. If the leader is the captain who says, "We're sailing to that island way over there," the manager is the first mate who's making sure everyone has their duties, the supplies are rationed, and we're actually on course, hour by hour. Okay, so if management is the science of order, then leadership, well, leadership is the art of change. This is where we shift from the how and when to the much bigger questions. What are we doing and why are we even doing it? Let's take a look. This definition just cuts right to the chase. The most important word here: influencing. See, leadership has nothing to do with your job title. It's about making people want to come along on the journey. And that kind of power doesn't come from your position on an org chart. It comes from who you are as a person. So, while our manager is busy keeping the ship running perfectly, the leader is the one up in the crow's nest with a telescope. They're scanning the horizon, spotting a new, better destination, and then coming down to inspire the whole crew to make them believe that this new journey is absolutely worth it. They don't just handle complexity, they drive change. All right, so we've got the high-level ideas down, but the differences really pop when you put these two roles side by side. So let's look at the mindset, the approach, and the actions that really separate a manager from a leader. This slide just lays it out so clearly. On the left, you've got management. It's all about the calendar, the spreadsheets, the short-term view. It's asking, how and when are we going to hit this month's targets? But on the right, you've got leadership. That's the long-term, the telescope looking at the horizon. It's asking, what should we be doing a year from now, and why does it matter? One is about logistics. The other is all about vision. And here's where we see how they act. The manager's job is to do things right, to make sure the process is followed and the system works flawlessly. But the leader is focused on doing the right things, making sure the entire team is pointed in the best possible direction in the first place. It's the difference between control and inspiration, between position and person. Okay, so after all that, it's pretty tempting to pick a side, right? To say, yeah, leadership is the cool, visionary thing, and management is just boring. But that is the single biggest mistake you can make. The truth is, these aren't opposing forces. They're partners, and you absolutely need both. I mean, just think about it for a second. An organization that is managed to perfection but has zero leadership, zero vision. It's just an efficient machine going absolutely nowhere. Every form is filled out correctly, every deadline is met, but why? What's the point? It's that ship with a spotless deck and a full crew just sailing in circles. And hey, the opposite is just as bad. All vision and no management is just chaos. You get a leader with 100 brilliant, world-changing ideas, but no one's there to actually plan the project, manage the resources, or check the work. It's exciting for a minute, but nothing ever gets done. So here it is, the big takeaway. They have to be integrated. The best people and the best organizations don't see these as two different jobs. They blend them together. You use management to keep your promises today, and you use leadership to build a better, brighter future. And that brings us to the top of the mountain. If the real goal is to combine these two skill sets, what does that person actually look like? Well, our source material has a great name for it: the ultimate leader. I think this definition is so powerful. Did you notice that it doesn't just start with what you do? It starts with who you are, your personal qualities. It's this beautiful blend of character, skill, and the ability to execute. This isn't someone who just gets things done. This is someone who inspires people to do extraordinary things. So what does that actually look like day to day? Well, it comes down to these core qualities you see right here. Things like being enthusiastic, tactful, having a sense of fairness. These aren't just nice to haves. They are the bedrock of trust. So as you look at this list, just ask yourself, which one of these could I focus on just a little bit more tomorrow? Because when you really live those qualities, you naturally start to fill these roles. You see, an ultimate leader doesn't just tell people what to do. They're a role model. They don't just assign tasks, they mentor and communicate. They genuinely care. And this is where management and leadership stop being two separate things and become one powerful, integrated whole. So, as we wrap this up, I want to leave you with this one final thought. Management is absolutely essential. It gets you through the day. But leadership is what creates a better tomorrow. The real question isn't which one you are, it's which one will you choose to practice.